Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome back to Sunset Wildlife Connections YouTube vlog channel. Welcome to 2025. I, for one, am very happy that 2024 is over. It was a great year for my animal rescue. As you saw in our community post yesterday, I posted all of the different animals that we rescued, which was a lot. We got a new ferret, parrot, we got guinea pigs, we had got Spike was new this year. We had tons of new animals. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about what our plans are for 2025. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk around, say hello to some of the animals. I might not go inside because my husband's watching a loud movie and I don't want it to get into like the background. So we're just going to walk around a little bit during sunset and go say hi to the animals and then talk about some of our goals for 2025. So starting out with my own animal rescue goals. So I, if you guys don't know, run an exotic animal rescue and community outreach program. So I rescue exotic animals. I train them to become ambassadors for their species. And then I do outreach programs with the animals. And outreach includes social media, just like our YouTube vlog channel. Hi girls, you gonna come say hello? You're just gonna go bye? What's wrong, girls? Hi. Hello, Lulu. Hi. So professionally, let's talk about that first. So for the nonprofit itself, I do have some physical goals for next year. One of my biggest goals is I really want to try and get Bo-Katan. You look like you're gonna break that thing. So I really want to get a grant. There is a grant called Impact 100 and I want to try to get that grant. It is a local grant in my area here in Florida and it is $100,000. So what they do is it is $100,000 that they give out to, I think there's maybe like 10 organizations that they do this for, and there's different categories. I could probably actually fit into 2 different categories. I could probably fit into the education one and then also the environmental one. So I'm gonna have to just kind of go through and see what one would fit which one better. I want to go to some workshops and things like that this year. So that's the plan a little bit more with that, because once I can get that, I can do so much. Obviously, we all know $100,000 is a lot of money. So I could do so much with that kind of money at my animal rescue. My huge main project that I really want to complete is actually to do a full perimeter fence around the entire property. Now, I actually own a lot more than like the little pieces of property that you guys see in the videos. Most of the stuff that you guys see is about 6 acres. But I actually own all of the property around us, which is over 30 acres. As a part of that 30 acres, I actually want to do different things with those different pieces. These chickens behind me, they're already sleeping. You guys are sleepy already. It's not even quite like sundown yet, and you guys are tired. So what I want to do is fence off just the 6 acres that we're on, because that's going to be mostly the main nonprofit section. That's going to be most of the exotics. So USDA requires us to have a secondary fence, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. I've talked about it in a couple other videos, and maybe you've even noticed it in some of the other videos. But behind me, you can see Spiky Poo. Hi, Spiky. What you doing? Here's me coming. But if you actually look closely, look. So this is a secondary perimeter fence. So when you have specific taxa, like you have a porcupine, we have the foxes and the cat down there, we'll go say hi to them in just a second. But this perimeter fence has to be around those animals, and there's different parameters. It has to be like 3 feet from the exhibits. It has to be a certain height, things like that we have to have as a part of what we do. Again, we have to have 2 different licenses to run our nonprofit exotic animal rescue. We have to have a Florida Fish and Wildlife license and a USDA license. So USDA requires us having that perimeter fence, but again, only on specific animals. You guys saw over there by the goats, point them out. Over here by the goats, they don't have to have the perimeter fence. So probably just because they're more of a domestic animal, and obviously there's no risk if they were to get out. So because of that, we have to have the perimeter fence. Now, I could do this around the whole 6 acres, and I wouldn't have to have it on this part of my property. So then these guys would just be nice and open. It would make cleaning easier. It's going to make it look more beautiful. We can actually add on then to Spike's exhibit behind me. Now, that would be a huge goal, because once I can get that done, then there's multiple other animal enclosures that I can build. So let's talk a little bit more about what exactly I want to build on. So you guys know I talk a lot, and I've done a ton of videos the last couple months on our 2 foxes. This is Michael J and Megan, and I really want them to have some more space. I'm actually going to do a updated video on them probably early in the year. So look out for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and that your notifications are turned on so that you guys are notified when I do post an updated video on how I'm maintaining all of them. But long-term goal would be, what I want to do is I want to put 2 magnums, which is kind of like what you saw the chickens in earlier. That's called a magnum. And I want to get 2 magnums, put them next to each other, and then make a play yard for the foxes. So then, just in case these 2 are not getting along, I can separate. Or, you know what? That also offers us open to rescuing more foxes, or maybe some other kind of canid. Maybe we could get some kind of a jackal, a coyote, some kind of another canid, or some kind of other animal that can utilize the play yard. So what we would do is we would put them in the magnums at night, and then they would come out to the play yard during the day. So that is a long-term goal. However, I can't do that without having the perimeter fence, because I want to make sure it's nice and large for them to be able to play and to run, play fetch, all those really, really, really fun things that I want for them. This enclosure was built for Joffrey's cats, who is back here. Let's see if we can go in and say hi to him. So another goal, would be if I can get that perimeter fence, and he's hiding really good. Jack. Oh, I see you. He's way like up here in his house. Let me see if I can flip it around. Okay, look at him way back there. You see him? Jack. What are you doing? You beautiful soul child. You are so cute. And I love you. Oh, you're going to come say hi to me? You're going to say hi? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Hello, my little prince. Hello. You are precious. You're so cute and you're so precious. You are just so precious. You are just so cute. Okay, sorry, I got so distracted. Okay. So going back to the plan, this enclosure that we built, we did not have foxes when we built this enclosure. This entire enclosure was built specifically for Joffrey's cats and possibly to breed in the future. Now, Jack here is a male. So he is a boy. He is not neutered. And I can talk a little bit more about this, and I will talk a little bit more about this on World Joffrey's Cat Day, which is in January. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the detailed plans with breeding with him. So I do have a video planned for that, and it'll be late January when World Joffrey's Cat Day happens, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about that. But like I said, this enclosure was built for Joffrey's cat, not for foxes. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about updating things, and we're going to move things around and all of that in our fox video as well. So I already have a bunch of videos planned out for January. Now, as far as obtaining new animals and animal rescue, you guys saw that we rescued tons of new animals in 2024, which is amazing. However, what we have to do, Spiky, why are you digging? Where are you going? So what we have to do for USDA is they go by numbers, and they regulate both mammals and birds. So because they do not care about reptiles, I actually can take in more reptiles. I don't really have tons and tons of space in our reptile room to take on more animals, but as we all know, things happen. Animals do unfortunately pass away, but the good thing is that leaves room to rescue new animals. So I do know my bearded dragons are getting kind of old. We have a couple other animals that are getting up in years. So it just depends, but obviously I can take in more reptiles. But as far as mammals and birds, at this time, I cannot actually accept any more mammals or birds. I do have a couple ideas because if you guys know, we have 9 chickens and 7 button quail. So I do have long-term goals to have more of those animals in the future, just for egg production for the animals, as well as the button quail will be in our garden for pest control. So because I want them to be in the garden for pest control, I am going to want more. However, we're just not quite there yet. I almost would prefer to get that perimeter fence done, because if I can get that perimeter fence done, I can also do other things like get our prairie dogs outside. The prairie dogs are inside right now, but I really, really want them to have, oh, I left this door open. Gotta go back and close it. Important zookeeper fact, always double check your doors. So that's what I'm doing here. I actually saw it on the camera. Okay. So anyway, I want to be able to put my prairie dogs outside. And again, I want to expand my foxes enclosure, which I'm kind of thinking about putting like right here. So I'd have the 2 magnums in the back, and then I'd have like a full yard for them to play. Now I might also put it over here. I'm not really sure like about planning that out quite yet. But for now, that is what I want to do as far as rescuing new animals. I'm sure we'll rescue new animals. It always obviously happens every single year. But right now I am kind of at the top tier of that USDA. And I'm only allotted 50 mammals and birds. And now I can get another license. They just have to come out and relicense me, which would be fine. It's just a lot more paperwork and all that stuff. And honestly, I think I'm pretty good with what we have right now. And again, once in the future, maybe in a couple years, I'll re-up and I can actually go from 50 to 100. These are our pigeons behind us. This is another project that I want to get done this year. And what I want to do with them is we're actually going to build them a bigger enclosure. So this one's really nice to just kind of like pop up if we need to, and like if we needed more quarantine, or a God forbid something like a hurricane were happen and damage an enclosure, we obviously then have more enclosures that we can pop up. So what we're gonna do is build them something bigger, and then I'm actually gonna free fly them around the property and then call them back in. So I actually never did a video on them just because there was a lot going on, and pigeon training is a really, really cool aspect of it. So once I can get to the point where I can get them trained to fly around and then come back, that will be a video that I will show you guys, because it's really cool to see animals who are captive flying free and then coming home. It is a really cool experience. So that is a goal that I have for them. Now for parrots, we do have the 5 parrots. We have 7 on property right now. Actually, we have 8 on property. I'm watching one for a friend, actually one of our zookeepers. But right now, you guys know we have the 7 parrots. Now these 5 parrots are ours. These 2 are not right now. In February, their contract will end, and they will either get taken back by their owners or they will get surrendered. So either way, whatever happens, I'm okay with, but we'll just go from there with whatever happens there. But I have specific goals for 2 birds. This is Stanley. Hi, Stanley. And then this is Raz. Hi, Razzie Twos. So these 2 are young birds. Raz here's about 8. Stanley here is about 9. Actually, Raz I might be 7. But either way, they're both under 10 years old. They're both great flyers. Stanley here is an excellent flyer. So I want to build their confidence with flying and then do the same thing that I was talking about with the pigeons. I actually want to get both of them outside, free fly them outside, and have them come back to me when I call them. But the confidence that a bird needs to be able to do that is extreme. So the building, I need to build their confidence. And that is a huge goal of mine for this year, is to build their confidence up, so that they know that they trust me. They are brave enough to fly up, fly down, fly in every single direction, indoors, outdoors, everywhere. So that is another goal that I have for my parrots. I also ideally would like to get them into something larger too, like a large, big aviary. I have so many ideas, and Obviously, I want all of the animals to have as much space as possible, but of course, all of that comes down to money. And I know I talked about it a little bit earlier with the grant. Another one of the goals that I have for me for this year is actually to do a fundraising event that I host myself. And it would be, you know, more something that we would have maybe somewhere else off property. I do a lot of events on property, but I think I want to try to do something more inside of Pensacola, because Pensacola, you know, we're about 30 minutes north, and then we're about like 55 minutes from the beach. So something a little bit more in town, and then run, you know, silent auctions, things like that. My goal is to try to raise a lot more money. Now, as you guys know, I have been on social media here for a little while, and I've been really working hard on it. I posted a video yesterday that shows all of my different social medias and how many, you know, followers, likes, subscribers, whatever you want to say, from each platform, how much I've grown on each platform. And even though it's not a lot of people, I'm still really proud of the way that I have built our channel and my social medias. And I have a huge goal next year to try to get monetized on almost all platforms. I am monetized on Facebook. So if you guys do want to head over there, if you're a Facebooker, you guys can interact with our content there, and that does help monetize and create money for our nonprofit animal rescue. But I would love to get monetized here on YouTube as well as on TikTok. Instagram for me is so hard. I'm kind of working through the algorithm a little bit more now. I've been working on it maybe like last couple months a little bit more. So I'm trying to get a little bit better on Instagram, but that one's such a hard, like the algorithm is so weird and it changes so much that it's really hard to keep up with unless you already have a following. So that one's a little bit harder, but I will keep working on that. So that's another goal that I have. Now I'm gonna get almost a little bit like deep with you guys, because 2024 for me emotionally and me personally has been very difficult. So unfortunately, I am like the animals. I did not come from the best situation when I was growing up either. And I learned some things in the beginning of 2024 that have truly affected me very deeply. It has been an extremely hard year. I actually have mentioned it in a couple other videos. I will tag one that I specifically talk. It's only like 3 minutes. I'll put it in the description below. But there is a specific video that is actually very much based on a little bit about what I went through. And it's been really hard for me this year emotionally. I actually have something in the works right now. Hi, baby, you good girl. I know I love you. I actually have something in the works right now, and I will share that with you guys if you guys are interested. What are you doing, weirdo? You're strange. Yes, you're so strange. But I do plan on sharing that whenever that is done and I have that all worked out. But it has been really hard for me personally and emotionally. It's been a very difficult year. So I want to continue my emotional growth and dealing with some of those traumas. The animals are actually so beautiful. You can even just see right now them coming up to me whenever, you know, if I have like something like a panic attack or something. The animals are just so special. I have gone up to multiples of them before, and it is so beautiful to watch them. I'll just tell you a story real quick where I had a really big trigger and I was crying, and I went up to both Michael J. This is before we had Megan. I went up to Michael J. and Jack, and Jack was literally licking my tears. And then I'm sitting there like crying more because my Joffrey's cat is licking my tears. Like I was like, this is insane. And then MJ did the same thing. Look at, she's doing the same thing too now because I'm like talking about it. So it's obviously a hard topic to talk about. I see you, baby. You're a good girl. And then MJ did the same thing. MJ actually licked my forehead. And before that point, he had never done that before. He had never licked me. He had never done anything that intense with me before. It was so beautiful, especially because MJ, she's tugging on my shirt. What are you doing? MJ was an extreme neglect case. So he has been through so much trauma. And I really do feel like they feel that too. And I feel that from them. And I help them heal, and they help me heal. It's truly a beautiful thing. And normally I wouldn't talk about this kind of stuff, but this is a part of what I do, and this is a part of my mission. And rescuing animals is absolutely my passion. To educate about them, to spark something in the next generation, to want to save these beautiful animals, and these animals who are so emotional and provide such happiness and joy, whether they are wild, captive. It is just such a beautiful thing to be able to be around all of these beautiful animals and have this animal rescue, have the community that I have with you guys. I really appreciate everybody who watches our videos. There are some of you who I've interacted with a lot, and it's been really great to have this online community. And I can't wait to grow it here in 2025. It's gonna be a really great year, but I really wanna hear from you guys. So next I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear maybe some of your New Year's resolutions. I want to hear about what you guys, thanks Bo-Katan, love that. I want to hear from you guys on what kind of content that you guys want to see from us. If you guys like maybe more animal training videos, if you want more educational videos. I know everybody loves rescue videos, but those can only come whenever I get new rescues. But if you want more day in a life vlogs, let me know what you guys are looking for. Go through some of our playlists, see what kind of videos are your favorites. Let me know in the comments below. One more thing I didn't mention is actually, professionally, I'm also a master's student, and depending on how many classes I get done this year, I may graduate with my master's program. So that may be something in 2025, but if not, definitely in 2026. So that'll be a really cool professional goal for me. Hi, baby, you're so sweet. Cute. You're cute. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I can't wait for 2025. Oh my goodness. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. What are you doing, weirdo? You're so weird. Are you excited for 2025? Are you excited? You're excited for 2025? You are? You silly goat. You're so silly.